Been a long day. Thank y'all for joining us. We're gonna let it ride out a little bit. 239-9696 with some childish Gambino. Red Bull. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all didn't know I DJ'd. It was just a year when I was at Cookman. I had the awful one. I had the 2 to 4. So no one was, it was already AM and then I had the 2 to 4. So that was me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Another great show, all for you. If you have not, make sure you click the subscribe, the notification bell, like this video, like the other 7 videos that came before it that got you to me. Last week's video was really good. So it was last week, if you guys remember, I just kind of went over what is TMG book series? Why did I write a book? Who am I? You guys really responded well to it. I think the comments all go after about. What are we talking about today? Well, you know, I'm the host, I'm the author, I'm the creator. My name is Glenn. We are here to talk a little bit about how we can help you get better dating outcomes in a modern world. I mean, it's in the day for me. So let me see. Y'all cooking right now. Cooking. Cooking, huh? Y'all cooking. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, Dr. Yeah. You guys don't know right now. There we go. That is how you do blue page. Y'all doing well, man. 15,000 of y'all. I appreciate y'all joining. Y'all been eating up the videos a little bit. I mean, that ain't much, but it's something to me. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for doing everything that you have to join us, wherever you are, however you got here, whether it's launch, whether you saw a notification, whether your friend sent it to you, whether this is a clip and it got you here. I appreciate you joining. Let me just tell you this. I'm sick of y'all. So there was an articles that came out, The Long, Slow Death of the Urban Nightlife. Now, I will tell you, fair use one. This is an article from Bloomberg. Now, what have I talked about on our channel? I have talked about how credible big J journalism outlets are now turning to relationship space with folks. That's fine, I click them. But this lets us know that this is now newsworthy. Why is it newsworthy? If you go back a couple of videos that talked about what the decline in marital and birth rates mean for a society, and then another video I talked about the epidemic of the lonely male, what that does to a society. Guys, TMG book series, How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in a Modern World. Part 1 and 2 are both available. Make sure you click the link and you buy them. We'll be running a special again. But make sure that you understand from our standpoint over here, we want people to get better dating and relationship outcomes. What do we believe? We believe that the best relationship outcome is between one man, one woman, with long-term relationship, marriage, children, and legacy as the result. Stay with that person for 40, 50, 60 years. It's better for everyone involved when y'all stay together. That's just, don't at me. We also believe that there is now a contingent of boomers and Gen Xers who have now started to acknowledge, I made a mistake by going my own separate way, men and women. But this takes the cake. I have said, stay off the dating apps. It's too much gamification. Stay off social media. It's too much temptation. And now, here are the results. You used to have to go to a nightclub to meet people. You used to have to go to a mall to shop. And I know it ain't 100 years ago, but Sears is out of business. There's no more Circuit City or Radio Shack. I understand that. But Nightlife is a big deal. So this is from the UK version of Bloomberg. Fair use. The author of this and the writer is Mark Daniels Davies. It's posted on April 25th of 2024, effective of this year. The long, slow death of urban nightlife, soaring costs, safety concerns, and noise complaints are strangling after dark economies from London to Montreal. But campaigners are going down quietly. And just, we've already done the numbers. There was a video we did about the city of Houston, where promoters are now having to go get jobs at Costco. There's no more promotion. You guys are going to a restaurant, and now the restaurants are providing a club-like atmosphere for you, and then they're flopping. Let's see what it says. A wave of closures in recent years adds weight to the charge of a city after dark in decline. Between the onset of COVID in March 2020 and December 23, some 13,800 UK nighttime businesses, clubs, bars, and restaurants shut, about 3,000 of which were in the Greater London region. So this is a study by the Nighttime Industries Association. I swear to God, man, everybody has something. Every organization, every vertical has an association. So it's everybody. Prominent recent casualties include the Workhouse, Bristol's Club, 414, and oh my God, Gay Lake and Soho. Though wallowed by COVID and the cost of living crisis, the scene's deterioration long precedes the pandemic and echoes far beyond London. About 3/4 of UK nightclubs have shut since 2005, and there won't be any left come 2030 if the current trajectory continues. Even pubs are collapsing, with the overall number dropping by 1/4 since 2000. Local music venues have probably suffered the worst. London lost about 35% between 07 and 15, prompting a targeted rescue plan by Boris Johnson. Intervention helped slow the decline, but these venues face more threats than ever. Over 120 across the UK shut in 23? That's the worst year for closures. For final orders, Britain lost more licensed venues after the pandemic. The night hasn't gone totally silent, to be sure. Well-promoted festivals, events, and big-ticket concerts featuring artists from Stormies to Taylor Swift have been on a tear and will remain strong. This, but that kind of talks about the gigification of this. You guys can now outsource and have more options for your entertainment. Your entertainment dollar is stressed. It's stressed out. For every $100 you spend on entertainment that we would spend in 2005, now it is probably $400 that we got to spend to get the same experience. Inflation is just torn into it. So now you're having to make what we used to call in the food industry satisficing. Instead of getting a double quarter pounder with cheese, you would get the McDouble or the double cheeseburger for $1, get 2 of them in a water. You would get full and content, but it's not what you ultimately wanted, which was a double quarter pounder with cheese. A double quarter pounder with cheese for an owner-operator of a McDonald's is more profitable than a McDouble or a double cheeseburger. Food cost is less, and it's a higher profit margin item. So there's your business lesson for today. For those of you that come to the channel, I mix relationships with Christianity, with music, with hip hop culture, with gaming, with wrestling, and then I throw a little business in there for you because I can do those things. So you're satisficing, and you're going, instead of going to a pub or a nightclub, you're going maybe and getting appetizers. You're going to a couple friends' house and doing apps and playing games and Netflixing and chilling when you meet people. And then this is what we talk about. The gamification that has happened with dating apps, the addiction that happens with social media, leads you to believe you have more choices in your phone than you do out in the real world. And what suffers? The real world. You couldn't pay me to open up a bar or a nightclub or a pub right now. There's no money. Oh, security. But there's no money in it. Now, in our market where we live, there are plenty of restaurants. There are plenty of lounges and spots that open. The last my wife and I went to for our date night, it was empty. And just think of what it takes for a couple, two professionals with two young children under 5 to get out for a night. Y'all don't have that problem. Y'all at the house, kicking it. Y'all looking at this video at 12:30, according to the stats. So yeah, you're not going out to a pub or a nightclub because you're in the bed. The festivals and big ticket concert events is another big thing. So the entertainment dollar, now that you satisfy the small bites or the meals, you're saving up for the bigger ticket. This year, as of this recording, what are the big concerts that are coming up? We got Usher. After the Super Bowl performance, Usher sold out. So everybody's saving their dollars for Usher. So it's not going to be a hot girl summer or warm auntie fall. Everybody's saving their dollars for Usher. Last couple of years, they've been spending their dollars on Usher to go to Vegas. They've been going to see New Edition. They've been going to see Silk Sonic. They've all seen Taylor Swift 2 or 3 times. They went to see Beyonce last year. And because they did that bigger, and there's no nightlife, there's no clubs and no pubs. The restaurant thing is actually really interesting because restaurants, for every 2 restaurants that open, 1 fails, just across the world. Why is that? Because there's not an effective evaluation of the market and what the market could bear. I'm not talking about building them in suburbs, guys, where their family's thriving. You guys are building them in city centers where there's 27 that you have to compete with in less than a mile radius. That's too much competition. Counterparts. That's Stormy's. I was about to ask who is that. Nightlife advocates in several hubs outside the UK say the scene is on similar shaky ground. In Berlin, renowned for its club scene and comparatively lax rules, venues are only starting to recover from one of their worst years in 2023. Tourist numbers are still subdued compared with before the pandemic. Inflation's out of whack. 2 wars have cast a long shadow. A more enduring and existential threat, however, is skyrocketing rents and property values. If I open up a club, the rent has gone up. My restaurant and pub's rent has gone up, and I'm having to lower costs to be more competitive. Guys, when you open a restaurant or you open a pub, there is margin on everything that you serve to the client. There's margin on everything that's on the menu. The pricing is supposed to be able to cover everything. And just for all of you business majors right there, before you start a business or move something forward, you want a 25% net profit. If you get a 6% net profit, you have to ask yourself, do you love what you're doing? But you want a 25 because for every dollar that I get, I should keep a quarter. It's the easiest way to look at it. But most businesses are not, especially when the fixed cost of rent and the variable cost of labor and product inputs continue to go through the roof. For those not pushed to the periphery, common obstacles include limited transit services between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., stringent noise rules, safety fears, and stigma. The other piece is, man, the day party really took hold in the 2000s, and then it graduated in the 2010s. For the 2010s, I think I only went to day parties. I just couldn't. Listen, we used to party with the best of them. We used to throw them bowls. We used to be in there, rap all the songs, sing all the R&B, buy the $3 drink or the $5 Long Island iced tea, the $10 buckets, the you call it. We did all that. That's exhausting. I know y'all are exhausted. That's exhausting, bro. So now the rent's high. I don't want to go out. I can't get there. There's none of y'all have parking in any city. If I put New York, Sydney, LA, Chicago, Miami, I can't park nowhere. So now I got an Uber, and Uber rates have gone through the roof, and the drivers are worse. I'm not even selling myself on this. Gee. So you guys got a long way to go before we get this to the point where it needs to be. Just letting you know, because I love you. Sydney is still shaking off the impact of so-called lockout laws. That's just bad. That's bad. I mean, so that's an interesting article. I'll stop to share on that. Let me see if I can find some more data. When you start hearing overview, according to the IMF, global inflation is expected to decrease from 8.8 in 2022 to 5.8 in 2024. So 2022 and 2023 saw the largest increase of inflation. Remember, there were lockdown protocols in place and everyone was printing money. You had to eventually pay for it. That's where the inflation comes in. And the prices are not going back down, guys. The inflation percentage is just going to decrease year over year on the cost of items. Let me give you an example. So if it's 8.8 in 2022, and a gallon of milk was $6.50, it went up by 1.88. It went up by 8.8%. So $6.50 at 8.8% plus $6.50, it went to $7.07. The $7.07 is the new cost. Now, when we go to 2024, we now only have 8.058% increase plus 7.7. We're at 7.48. It's not going back down to 6.50. And I think some people are still waiting on things to go back down to 6.50. It's not. The inflation rate just caps or it minimizes. Or we have shrinkflation, which we see a decrease. Guys, I don't know much, but I know enough on the people who I pay to do things. Inflation is going to be capped, and then it's going to be in decline in 2025. That does not mean that your dollar is going to buy more in general than it did in 2020. 2021, y'all were going nuts on lockdown protocols. Y'all were out here buying up the bar, starting businesses. I saw all the memes. And in 2022, I was like, where the business at? Ain't no business. Go to work. Show up. Log in. Clock in. Stay late. Add value. Y'all ain't doing that. But y'all expecting inflation to shrink. Inflation is not going to go back down. Unless there is a huge supply increase in all things grocery, in all things rents, the stuff is locked, guys. And that's where you guys got to start understanding. Come to this channel, click and subscribe, get stuff like this. The global inflation rate. Let's look at this. Look at this. The global, necessary. The global inflation rate. Here it is. This is. You guys like little screens. You like that. The global inflation rate from 2000 to 2022 with forecast until 2028. This is where it got in 2022, and this is where it's going down. So as you can see from a percentage standpoint, it has pretty much stayed flat since 2020. I'm sorry, yeah, since 2000. 2020 was where it was low. Y'all was getting money. This is where lending was going on a spree. Everyone was on a bender, taking out loans, cash, cash, cash. Then boom, inflation hit and the roosters came home to roost. And now the banks understand they're curbing the spending. So, statistic, I'm not going to follow him, but that's good. So that's where we are, guys. So when you start looking at issues related to nightclub life, so the title of the video, you saw the thumbnail, the long, slow death of urban nightlife. I think urban nightlife has converted. Y'all at home, y'all Netflix and chilling, y'all on social media, y'all on dating apps, you're doing everything at home or everything with your small group. We've already done studies and we've already done videos on the loneliness effect of men opting out of dating, women opting out of dating, but still sleeping with the same 20% of men that are the F-boys that we talk about in our book. I love that F-boy. Chemistry, so fun. 3/4 of UK nightclubs. I'm pretty sure it's the same here because I mean, I've been in my current hometown. My current town, which is not my hometown where I live, for the past, been there 6 years? The clubs have all changed. The nightlife, the restaurants have all changed. It's something new on the corner every 90 days I go downtown. I'm like, when they do that? Big holes in the ground, got burgeoning towers. And they ain't opening no club. They're opening up music venues. They're opening up barcades. They're opening up bowling alleys. They're opening up things that still have a social impact. Now, I would say that there's not a real death. I think it's just evolved, like Pokemon. We talk about in the book, chapter 3, talking about women. Who's that Pokemon? I think nightlife has evolved. There's no longer Pichu or Pikachu. It's Raichu. Nightlife now has to fit within the parameters of what I want to do. But I would like to know what you think. Y'all are the ones that are out there. Y'all the ones struggling. Y'all the ones. Look at that man. He's so sad. You tell me what you think. Is there a long, slow death of the urban nightlife? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you for joining. If you would, please make sure you hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow for all shorts and videos like this. I am the host. I am the author. I am the creator. I am Glenn. And thank you for joining us. TMG Reacts, How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in a Modern World, Part 1 and 2. Both are available wherever you buy books or download. Have a great day.